Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Sonal's life. Now, have you ever had a show where you are very excited, at the same time very conflicted, at the same time heartbroken? Okay, so that is what I have felt. I have literally just finished watching the New Japan Power Struggle show, and you know what? There's a lot to pick out, so we're going to hurry up and get to the review because, yeah, I am a whole load of emotions right now. So normally I go through all of like the lower card matches, so we have a load of tag matches and things like that. I am not going to do that today. I'm going to point out stuff that was important because the last portion of the show, so I guess the last 5 matches, maybe 6, were massive, and I feel like I kind of want to focus on that. So let's sort of quickly run through these matches. So for the kickoff show, we had Captain Suicida and Tiger Mask and Shoma Kato, Young Lion, facing Ninja Mac, the DKC and Yo. Obviously, the Young Lion got pinned. That's just like a general thing. Interesting trio of Ninja Mac, Yo, and DKC. Rocky, where have you gone? We then started the show with Intergalactic Jet Setters. So that's Kushida, Kevin Knight, Katsuya Murashima, and also Velocities, and they were facing the Bullet Club War Dogs, so Taiji Shimori, Robbie X, the fucking Madman Gabe Kidd, he returned, and obviously the War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. Now that sort, again, very obvious, saw the Young Lion getting pinned. It was very interesting to see the interactions between these two. It will sort of come to fruition later on in the show. We then had another tag match, and this time we saw Los Ingobernables de Japon's Tetsuya Naito, Yota Tsuji, Bushi and Hiromu against Dragon Dia, Ryusuke Taguchi, Tomoaki Honma and Toru Yano. Shockingly, Bushi did not get pinned. He was not the electrician. Hiromu Takahashi showcased his worth by pinning heavyweight Tomoaki Honma. Yes, okay, it is Honma, but usually they don't have this dynamic. And coming out of this match, the big thing, the huge thing, obviously we finished Super Junior Tag League. Well, it finished today. Yeah, but at the end of the match, sorry if I keep moving my fringe, it needs a cut, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this video without it because I can't wait. But basically, Hiromu had Tag League on his wrist. Now, obviously, he didn't do that great with Bushi this year, so in the post-match comments, who should Hiromu approach but Tetsuya Naito? They are now going to be, well, I assume the blocks have not been released yet. They are going to be participating in World Tag League coming up at the end of the month. Now, that is huge. Now, I don't know whether this is a Hiromu move to the heavyweights. I feel like, and we'll mention this a bit later on, there have been many chances and many opportunities and many times we have seen junior heavyweights team with heavyweights in World Tag League. It's not unexpected, but it'll be interesting to see because I know a lot of people have their hopes on seeing Naito versus Hiromu at Wrestle Kingdom, so we'll see whether that interlinks with anything. We then had, they have to appear somewhere on the card, we then had Evil and Ren Narita, so he's the television champion, facing the Shacho Hiroshi Tanahashi on his road to retirement. I know it's like a year, but still. And Bolton Oleg. Now, unsurprisingly, Bolton Oleg got the pin. After the match, huge things. So obviously, Ren Narita is television champion. So Oiwa came out. He's on a search for those belts. He couldn't quite hack it against Shingo Takagi, so he's going after Ren. However, there's someone else who is going after Ren, and that is Jeff Cobb. Mr. Gachimuchi made his return, and they both, all 3 of them, stood in the ring. So whether that will be coming up soon, whether that is a Wrestle Kingdom match, we will have to see. And you know, I mentioned earlier, like, juniors and heavyweights not really teaming together for World Tag League, but it has happened. Well, we saw it twice. So obviously everyone knows ELP is currently out for illness. I'm sending every bit of love and prayer to ELP at the moment. I know cancer is actual shithead, and I know you will fight it, and I'm sending all my prayers. So, according to the backstage comments, Tanahashi was meant to team with ELP in World Tag League. However, he cannot do that. So, obviously, as his best friend, Jado has stepped up to the plate. So that is very interesting to come. And obviously, these matches are all setting up for Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil, which is already set for Wrestle Kingdom. So that was, I'm just going to check. Yeah, so that was all the multi-man matches. I've spent 5 minutes. That's longer than I wanted to spend on it. So yeah, let's quickly get on. Getting to the major big matches, and it's quite surprising it was this low on the card considering the implications. So obviously at Royal Quest, which was like 2 weeks ago, and you can watch my review and my vlog and everything, Sanada got beaten by Zack Sabre Jr. for his first defense. Now, there was obviously the whole shnu that if Sanada lost, he would face Shota to see if Shota would get a shot at the title, while obviously Shingo Takagi is in the main event. Now, this match going into it is very interesting because Shota has been booed quite often, but in this match going forward, he seems to have gained that support back. Now, throughout this entire tour, he's been sort of trying to get Sanada to react to him, and it was only at the last Power Struggle show, which was like 2 days ago, that Sanada like snapped and threw him into a chair, which I guess now sort of foreshadows what happened later, and I'm heartbroken, but we're not gonna bring that into this match. We're gonna stay neutral. So this match was actually phenomenal. Sanada, for all the criticism that he's too chilled out, that he doesn't have passion, when he needs to switch it on, he will, and this match he did. So not only did Shota bring some fire out of Sanada, but Sanada rightly brought some fire out of Shota. And this match was dangerous. It went onto the outside, it was fast, it was athletic, it was strong. And you can see that even though Sanada had lost his shot and really was at the back of the queue for the title scene, and really had nothing to earn from this, he wanted to embarrass Shota. Like, Shota's been going around saying he's the ace, he's the future. But he's not shown it, so Sanada was like, well, I've been champion at least, so like, what have you got against me? Now, it was very tense. There was a lot of moments where I thought, well, at some point I thought Sanada was going to win. Then I thought Shota was going to win. In the end, Shota Umino got the win, and the crowd seemed great. They seemed happy about it. I don't think they remembered the implications, but it was a very good match. And like, obviously, Shota would have been watching backstage for the main event because I guess this was his match to earn a title shot. We then, and I literally didn't realise this was on the card, we had an IWGP Tag Champion match between TMDK's Mikey Nicholls and Shane Hayes, very nice men, versus the Empire's duo of the Great Okan and Hanare. Now, we have seen the four of them battle in the past. I quite like that you've got Japan, New Zealand and Australia all in one ring. Showcases how diverse New Japan is. But this match was amazing as expected. But it was great. We saw straight away Mikey Nicholls get busted open where Tohanari headbutting him. If anyone remembers their G1 match from last year, like this was sort of bringing it right back to where they ended. Okan has been going from strength to strength. Obviously he had that amazing G1 performance. A polarizing match against Tetsuya United for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But this proved that he really is a man of the people. And I never have anything but praise for Shane Hayes. For me, he is like a super athlete. He's quite big, so he's strong, but he's also massively agile. And really, like, although TMDK are like the team, the Empire have been together for a while. In particular, and you need to remember this, Hanare and Great Okan were sort of in the similar dojo class, so they have a very long history as well. Maybe not as long as TMDK. Which meant that, as shocking as it was, Hanare and Okan got the win and are your new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Champions. Now, I hope Okan gets to hold it for longer, and it was really nice at the end that Okan sent like a tribute to Kitamura, who was a fellow young lion for them. I think this is quite imperative because obviously TMDK hold the strong and the IWGP belts. I think ahead of Wrestle Kingdom, I think it's good to separate them, to keep them separated. And obviously TMDK have a match in Lowell, at the New Japan Strong Show coming up. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So it was time for a little break. Now, you could go and get a drink. You could go and get some breakfast. However, you can't because, as my mum would like to say, it was the return of Kenny Omega Gaga. That's literally what she calls him, like, all the time. He basically, they've been teasing this for a while, but he came back to huge cheers. The music was back and basically made a really nice promo, both in Japanese and in English, how like New Japan is always his home. He wants to challenge the newest generation of New Japan, possibly and most likely at New Japan's Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th, that I will be attending. So that was great. And obviously I want to say the big thing is after he went backstage, he was attacked by Gabriel Kidd. Now, Kenny mentioned Gabe in his recent interview on New Japan World, although it took him a while to get his name right. And it kind of really makes sense for Gabe to be the one to step up because he's a fucking madman. So yeah, we went from one fucking madman to the best of Super Junior Tag League final. Now, I will say I always have the grievance that for some reason New Japan never treats the juniors as they should be respected. Because for me, if the Power Struggle Tour has been the Super Junior League Tour, Super Junior Tag League Tour, then they should be main eventing, but they didn't. Now, this was a match between the A Block and B Block winners, so Catch 22, TJP and Francesco Akira, facing Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita. Both guys, and I can say this because I feel like I've not had a chance to do a proper Power Struggle Super Junior Tag League review. It was a phenomenal tournament and these two teams were by far the best. Now we had one block which was all 4 points, it was tiebreakers galore, and then the other block that had some tie-breaking issues, but it was a bit more straightforward. But we came to this match which, personally for me, I know people said it's the best tag match of the year so far. It's actually one of my favourite matches of all year, tag, singles, anything, because not only do I have a soft spot for it because it's got 4 of my favourite wrestlers, it's also junior division, but it was phenomenal. So you have the 2 veterans, TJP and Robbie. Then you have the 2 young boys, Akira and Fujita, though I don't feel like I can call Akira a young boy because he has been in this company, not this company, but in wrestling for a long time. There was really nice interactions between all 4 wrestlers. Robbie and TJP are very much known for their submission wrestling. TJP is obviously over 20 years, similar to Robbie so much, and you could see that in the ring. And they almost have this really nice rivalry against each other, the Filipino aspect, the years in the industry. And then on the other side, Akira and Fujita were battling for each other. They, like Akira said in the press conference, while TJP and Robbie are the veterans, they are the future of wrestling, the future of professional wrestling and New Japan. And there were so many amazing moments in this. Now I'm going to say the last 3 minutes had me on the edge because there was finishers galore. Each of them was hitting their own finishers, tag team finishers. Robbie and TJ were doing roll-up after roll-up. People were tagging in and out. They were flying outside the ring. And I was like, going into this, I was quite conflicted because I love both teams. I think going into it, I personally wanted Ichiban Sweet Boys to win because I wanted Fujita to get a huge win at such a young age, somebody different, and then go to Wrestle Kingdom. Now that happened in the end when I believe it was a roll-up, got Robbie Eagles the win against TJP, and yeah, that happened. However, knowing it's the Super Juniors, knowing it's the juniors and it's tag team and it's Wrestle Kingdom, it wasn't just going to be Intergalactic Jet Setters versus Ichiban Sweet Boys. Kushida and Kevin Knight came out and challenged TJP and Akira, who obviously beat them during the rounds, and then came out War Dogs, so Clark Connors and Dan Maloney. So I believe it is going to be a 4-way. Now, I know a lot of people have some grievances about this. Like, what is the point of Super Junior Tag League? This is something that has been done many times. I've said this, when it comes to multi-way matches, the only ones it works for really are tag teams and junior divisions. So this is a very nice way to get all 8 men in the match and hopefully still get Kosei Fujita a title to become the youngest ever champion in the company. Don't quote me on this, I remembered somebody saying it once and like I'm running with it. We then had Master Wato facing IWGP Junior Champion Doki for the IWGP Junior Championship. Now this was Master Wato's first major match coming back from injury. Doki has been on a roll. He has beaten the best in the company and show in consecutive matches. And this was going to be a huge test because Master Wato has struggled in title matches, as Chris Charlton says. He knows that he is much bigger and stronger than Doki, so he was using it to his advantage. He was showcasing what he has learned over the past, it's been a long time since he's been injured, 8 months. But Doki was also hitting back, like not underestimating Wato by any stance because they have a similar history. They both sort of burst out onto the scene during COVID. Obviously, Doki as a replacement for Despy and Wato coming back from excursion during COVID. But they both balanced their styles very well. Doki was flying out the ring, but also flying under it, like for drop kicks and stuff. Wato was using his strength to counter all of the luchadors' offense. And again, this was another one where I was really conflicted. The junior division just does that to me, guys. But I was like, I don't care who wins, as long as I can see a really good match. And I did. It was phenomenal. That saw Doki get the win after basically choking him out with the Doki Choki or the Italian stretch. Now after that, we wanted to know who's next. El Desperado came back, had a surprise. It was really cute. He was sporting an ELP headbanger top. But he came out and basically said, right, I'm back. I want to challenge you at Wrestle Kingdom. Now, for me, as a Despi Doki superfan, this is the best possible thing I could see. So I was very excited. The juniors once again pulled it out and showcased that yes, they're not in the top 2 matches, but they are deserving of the main event. After so much happiness, after so much joy, I thought, can't get any better. We've got Tai Chi coming out to challenge David Finlay for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. I almost said United States title. He came out in new gear. He had red accents. I was like, if he wins, I'm going to recreate his mask. He's facing David Finlay. Now, Finlay has been odd. At the press conference, he was teasing about how he has control over his dogs, his war dogs, but does Tai Chi, leading to some speculation that was somebody in Just Five Guys going to go against Tai Chi. Now, at the start, everything seemed fine. Taka came out. It was actually a really good match. Now, at the start, Tai Chi seemingly wanted to go back to his rudo ways, but the crowd support shouting Tai Chi, which is very different from when I started and they used to say Tai Chi, Kairu, which means to go home. Finlay was a very good heel, but we contrast this with House of Torture that he, aside from maybe some help from Gato, he never cheats. He showcases just why he is so good. The chemistry between these two were great, because at the start, for the opening 10 minutes, Tai Chi was firmly in control. Even commentary pointed it out because it was something very different from what we've seen from his past defenses. And Tai Chi seemed to get more energized each time. Even when he was completely out, he was fighting, he was hitting move after move because he's very powerful, very strong. But Finlay was also countering that with his own style of wrestling. At one point, I almost threw something at the computer because he tried Black Mephisto. Don't you dare. So obviously, if Tai Chi needs more support as the match was going on, who better than Sanada to help? And we thought, okay, that's great. However, as soon as Sanada came out, I became worried. And I was right to be. Do you notice there's a gap there next to Zack Sabre Jr.? So just as Tai Chi had hit a finisher and was ready to get the win, somebody pulled out Marty Asami. And holy fuck, it was Sanada. And Tai Chi was obviously confused, and Sanada ended up revealing that he's part of the War Dogs. I am now in my divorce era right now. I am not a happy bunny.
And this is what you get, Sanada, for what you have just done to my holy emperor. No, bye. Doesn't deserve to be there.
I love Sanada. I met Sanada 3 times. He remembers me. We were meant to be best friends. However, I can never forgive him for betraying my holy emperor, and obviously with the help of Sanada. And Gato and a shillelagh, Finlay got the win. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been so betrayed in my life. I thought I was betrayed when Sho left Roppongi. I thought I was betrayed when Jay left Chaos, but this is another level. And then Finlay tried to be like, oh no, promo, Suji come out, I'll challenge you at Wrestle Kingdom, which I should be happy about. But I'm not, because Just 5 Guys is just 4 guys, but then it's just 3 guys because Umar is injured. It's the conflicting emotions right there. But it's fine because they wanted to end the night happy. They gave us Shingo Takagi versus Zack Sabre Jr. What else can I say about this match except it was perfect in every way? The lead up to this has been great. You should watch all the interviews and things, the pre-show matches that was during the Power Struggle tour. Phenomenal. And the match itself was great. They both had this desire that they wanted to submit each other. Zack was like, if Takagi submits me, I'm going to throw myself into the Pacific Ocean. This match proves why Shingo and Zack are 2 of the best in the world, not just New Japan. Their styles are so different. Shingo is athleticism and strength. So Zack Sabre Jr. is a submission master. Yes, he is fast, he is agile, but everything lies in what he can do with his limbs. And this happened throughout. Like, there was submissions, there was counters. Takagi was going up on the top rope to try and damage Zack as much as he could. And at the end, Zack was like, itai, mecha itai. Because they were both basically working on limbs that each other needs. Like, at some points, they were just both lying there because neither could capitalize on what they had done. And it was honestly amazing. Like, at the end, I was worried. Because, I love Shingo, but I am a Zack Sabre Jr. girl. Look, I now have met him. He's now added to the wall. I needed him to win. I needed him to main event because he obviously made the joke. And actually, this started one of that Royal Quest. He was like, I was like, you need to main event. He's like, if I don't, I'm just going to be in the Rambo. And he even said that at the press conference, like, well, I'll be in the Rambo. I'll shave my hair and wear black trunks as a young lion. But in the end, although not by submission, Zack hit another Zack drive. I think he hit about 3. Even Shingo hit a Shingo drive to get the win. And you know what? Zack has started off his reign amazingly. Now, obviously, he was like, who's going to challenge me next? Shota came out to a sea of boos, surprisingly, which commentary pointed out was very different to when he won earlier in the show. So he basically challenged and it was fine. And then as he was going to leave, boom, 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 music hit. Ricochet has made his first return back to New Japan in 6, maybe more years. And he said he wanted to challenge Zack at Wrestle Dynasty, which I'm also going to be at. And then Shota came out and tried to, as Ricochet was going to hit a move on Zack, he kicked Ricochet out, got another swarm of boos. He tried to save Zack, but Zack got pissed off, so Zack hit Shota, and then Shota hit Zack, and it's all very conflicting, but it's all very exciting, and the perfect end to another amazing show. Like, New Japan is throwing it out with so many bangers this year. Basically hitting back at all the haters who said, it was a shit, New Japan's gonna shit, it's rubbish. With everyone leaving, there's nothing. There is so much, and this review hopefully showcases that. So yeah, I've blabbered on for probably 20 minutes plus, and I did try to keep it short, but too much happened. So obviously, it's time for you, honestly, I've been up too early. Time for you to let me know what you thought. In the comments on social media at wrestling_chat, let me know your thoughts about the show. Remember, this is all really basically leading up to what we're going to see at Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. So let me know your thoughts on the best matches, the storyline going forward, and just generally of the show. Make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Come on, guys, how many times do I have to say it? I'm going to Wrestle Kingdom next year. I'm going to be there with videos, vlogs, and all sorts. So make sure you subscribe to be the first people to know about it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Bye!